Okay, welcome to the first recording of Term 3, Math CA, Term 3, Week 2. Uh, we didn't have. I did record physics, that was supposed to be the first recording, but يعني it rained, so we didn't have it. This is Week 2, Term 3, Math CA. It's pretty easy صراحة. Nothing too hard. Uh, خلاص. Question 1, which is true, the domain of f of x equals radical x plus 5. Hold up. The domain of f of x equals radical x plus 5 is the set of all real numbers greater than or equal to minus 5. That's true because radical x plus 5, the restriction for radicals, you always take what's under the radical and you put it greater than or equal to 0. Take it to the other side, you're going to get x is greater than or equal to minus 5. So it's going to be all numbers, all real numbers greater than or equal to minus 5. Is it all real numbers except minus 5? Obviously not. We said greater than or equal to minus 5. The domain of g of x equals x squared minus 8x is the set of all whole numbers? No. Okay? X squared minus 8x has no restriction, right? No restriction. But, okay, it doesn't mean all whole numbers. The domain of it is all real numbers, R. We call it R. Because it's all real numbers, not only whole numbers. Whole numbers means only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it could be 1.5, 2.5. It could be all real numbers. That's why you don't. It's wrong to say whole numbers. X squared minus 8x is a set of all real numbers except 8. Obviously no, because it has no restriction. There's no except. It's all real numbers, only all real numbers. The domain of h of x equals 1 over x plus 1 is a set of all real numbers except minus 1. That's correct, because 1 over x plus 1, it has a denominator, and the denominator, you say, it cannot equal 0. So you take 1 to the other side, and it will be x does not equal minus 1. So all numbers except minus 1. The domain of h of x is all real numbers. Obviously wrong, because we said it has a restriction minus 1. Question 2. The image of m 4, 1 under a dilation with the center I 0, minus 2 and scale factor k is scale factor k equal 3 is 12, 7. Okay, you have to use the formula for dilation x prime and y prime. X prime is kx plus 1 minus k times x of the center. Y prime equals ky plus 1 minus k times y of the center. So let's just plug it in. So x prime in this case will be kx, so k 3 times my original x, 4 plus 1 minus k, so 1 minus 3, times x of the center, which is 0. And then y prime would be ky, so 3 times my original y, which is 1, plus 1 minus k, which is 1 minus 3, times y of the center, negative 2. Let's equate this. 3 times 4 is 12. And then 1 minus 3 times 0 cancels out, which is going to be 12. And then my y of the center, 3 times 1 is 3. 1 minus 3 is minus 2 times minus 2, which is 4. So 3 plus 4, which is 7. So that's going to be 12, 7. Question 3. The coordinates of the image t 5, minus 4 under reflection of the line y equals minus x is 4, minus 5. Whenever you have y equals minus x, whenever you want to reflect it, ab goes to minus b minus a. So 5 minus 4, you have to swap them and change the sign. So it's going to be minus 4 becomes 4 and goes to the left, and 5 becomes minus 5. So 4 minus 5. I don't know if you have y equals x, but if y equals x, you would just do ab goes to ba. The image of minus 1, 4 under a translation represented by the vector 23 minus 1 is 22, 3. Okay, this is very easy. Just, add, minus 1, 4, 23 minus 1, so plus 23 plus minus 1. You get 22 and 3. Question 5. The image of P minus 2518 under reflection in the y-axis. Very simple. Reflect in the y-axis. That means you only change the x-coordinate. So minus 25 becomes 25, and the rest stays the same. Okay. Question 7. The image of same number, minus 2518, on the reflection of the x-axis. Reflecting about the x-axis means you change the y. So the x stays the same, stays minus 25, but the y becomes minus 18 now. Change becomes negative. Question 7. The image of 3729 on the reflection of y equals x is 2937. When you have y equals x, AB goes to BA. Okay, always. So 3729 goes to 2937. And that's the answer. Question 8. The image of 12, 7, 12 on the reflection x equals 15 is at 23, 12. There's two ways you can deal with reflecting about x equals lines. You can use the formula. If you're reflecting about the line x equals 15, a point x comma y will become 2n minus x y. Okay, you can use this formula if you're reflecting about x equals something, or you can use it graphically. 7, 12 would be here. Okay, this is 7, 12, and the line x equals 15 is over here. Okay, so reflected, this is going to be 8 units. That means on the other side there should also be 8 units. So in total 16 units. So it's going to end over here at 23. So 23, and it stays over here at 12, right? So 23, 12. You can use this way. This is the graphic way. Or if you want to use the formula, you can do this. 2n means just multiply 2 by the x equals number. It's always x equals n. So it will be 2 times 15. That's what I mean by 2n. So 2 times 15 minus the original x, 7, comma, y. So it will be 30 minus 7, comma, 12, 23, comma, 12. Okay. Question 9. Same point 712 under reflection of y equals 15. Same formula, by the way, x comma y. If you're reflecting about a y line, the x stays the same, but it will become 2n minus y, since I'm reflecting about y equals n. Okay, you can use this formula, or same thing, you can use the graphic way. 712 is over here, and y equals 15 is all the way here. This is y equals 15 at 15. Okay, reflected, this is 3 units, so obviously it has to be 3 units here also, and it's going to end at 18. It's going to be the same point, the x didn't change, it's still 7, but this time comma 18. If you want to use the formula, it will be x stays the same, so this 7 stays the same, so it will become 7 comma 2n minus y, so 2 times 15 minus the original y, which is 12, which becomes 7 comma 30 minus 12, which is 7 comma 18. Question 10. The image of 2 minus 6 under a rotation of 180 degrees is at 18 comma 26. Look, rotation 180 degrees about 0 comma 0, or some people say about the origin. A comma B goes to minus A minus B. Okay, but here we're saying about 10, 10. So with every rotation, if you're rotating around a certain point that's not the origin, the first step I always tell you is find the translation. Okay, always find the translation. How do you do it? You subtract the pre-image by the point of rotation, which is it's like finding the vector. I don't know what I used to call it, but muhim, for this step you have to subtract pre-image by point of rotation. So in this case it's going to be 2 minus 6 minus 10 minus 10. So this 2 minus 6, I'm subtracting it by 10, 10. You're going to get minus 8 minus 16. Okay, now since you actually have the translation, now you apply the formula. Okay, because why am I doing this? Because we're not rotating about the origin, we're rotating about a certain point. Whenever you're rotating about a certain point, whether it's 90 degrees clockwise, counterclockwise, or 180 degrees, you always have to find the translation first. So the translation is minus 8 minus 16, which can be written like this. Okay, so this AB goes to minus A minus B. So what does it mean? I just take the opposite. So what's opposite of minus 8? 8. Opposite of now minus B. So opposite of minus 16? 16. Okay. Does that mean my point is 816? No. Now I apply this translation, right? So this 816, I have to apply it. What does it mean? That means I add it to the point of rotation. So that means 816, I add it to 10, 10. Becomes 18, 26. Okay. So in simple terms, the first thing you have to know is what is the translation I'm using. Okay, that is the thing I'm going to use to rotate. Find the translation by subtracting. We subtracted, we got minus 8 minus 16. Apply your rule and becomes 816. So okay, this is now the translation I have. What do I have to do with the translation? Think about it like this. Think about you're on a graph. You have, this is the point 10 10 over here. No, actually not over here. 10 10 is over here. Okay, 10 10. And you have 2 minus 6, which is over here. 2 minus 6. So you want to rotate it counterclockwise. So it's going to end up being over on the other side. Well, it's going to end up being over here because it has to be a straight line. Okay, so think about it like that. You find the translation, now you have to add it to your point. Try understanding it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So find the translation, apply the rule, then add that translation to your point of rotation. Okay, obviously some people may have different ways. I mean, whatever you find easy, I really don't care, as long as you find it easy. Add image of 2 comma 8 under enlargement with center 1 comma 1. Scale factor 12 is 1385. Okay, this is very easy. Same as the first question. X prime, you have to use the formula. X prime equals kx plus 1 minus k times x of the center. And y prime equals ky plus 1 minus k times y of the center. X prime will be equal to kx. So k 12, scale factor 12. 12 times the original x2 plus 1 minus 12, because 1 minus k times x of the center, which is 1. 1. So this is going to be equal to 24. Wait, no. Hold up. We're going to be equal to 12 times 2 is 24. 1 minus 12 is minus 11. Times 1 is just minus 11. So 24 minus 11, which is 13. Okay, this is going to be equal to ky. So 12 times 8 plus 1 minus 12 times y of the center, which is 1. 12 times 8 is 96 minus 11. Why minus 11? Because 1 minus 12 is minus 11 times 1 is still minus 11. So 96 minus 11 is 85. For 13, comma 85. Question 12. The image of 2 9 under an enlargement with the center at the origin. Origin meaning you can just do kx, x prime equals kx, and y prime equals ky. So you just have to multiply 11 by 2 and 11 by 9. That's only when you have it at the origin. And 11 times 2 is 22. 11 times 9 is 99. Question 13. The image of 26, 14 under a translation t is 50, 80. This is very straightforward. Whenever you have to find the translation, you always do final minus initial, final minus initial. So it's gonna be translation xy. Yeah. To do it, you do final minus initial. So 50 minus 26 and 80 minus 14, and this is gonna be equal to 24. This is going to be equal to 66. So your translation is 24, 66. The x component is 24, y is 66. Question 14. The image of 2 minus 3 under rotation of 90 degrees counterclockwise about 0, comma 1. Okay, again, rotation. Whenever you have a rotation about a point, what's the first step? It's find the translation, right? Find the translation. How do you do it? We said subtract pre-image by center. So we subtract the pre-image by the center. So 2 minus 0 minus 3 minus 1, because 2 minus 3 minus 0, comma 1. So 2 minus 0 minus 3 minus 1. This is going to be equal to 2 minus 4. And then you apply the rotation. For 90 degrees counterclockwise, AB goes to minus BA. So this 2 minus 4, 2 minus 4, that's 2 minus 4 goes to 4, 2. What's the second step? Apply the translation. So now we have to add. So we add 4, 2 to the center. So the center is 0, 1, yeah? So let's add it. 4 plus 0, 1 plus 2. You get 4, comma 3, which is just 4, comma 3, like this. Simple. How x's add with the x's, y's add with the y's. Question 15. Okay, the surface area of a sphere which has volume 8788 over 3 pi is k pi. So they want the surface area. The surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared, but we have the volume. Okay, obviously to find the surface area we need the radius. You know that the volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So this volume we have here, 8788 over 3 pi, is equal to 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Cancel pi from both sides as usual. How would you find r cubed? You now have to divide 8788 over 3 by 4 over 3. So r cubed is going to be 8788 over 3 divided by 4 over 3, which is going to be equal to r cubed. Do this on the calculator, huh? 2197, I think. And you're going to get r equals the third root. Let me simplify this a bit more. The third root of 2197. So r is going to be equal to 13. Okay, now since you know r is 13, you can apply 4 pi r squared, right? And it's going to be 4 times pi times 13 squared, which is 4 times pi times 169, because it's 13 squared. And 4 times 169 is going to be 676. So you get 676 pi, but they want it in terms of k pi, so they just want k. 676. If your calculator doesn't give it to you in terms of pi, just don't solve, don't multiply by pi. Okay, this question is, I don't imagine most of you to know it. Obviously you have to expand, yeah? So minus 3 times 5 is minus 15. Minus 3 times minus 9i is plus 27i. 2i times 5 is 10i. And 2i times minus 9i is minus 18i squared. Okay. Well, you're not supposed to know this, but you're going to take it next week, and I will explain it once the time comes. I is root negative 1, so I squared is actually negative 1. Okay, I squared means negative 1. So whenever you say I squared, it means negative 1. So minus 18 I squared means minus 18 times negative 1. So just rewrite this. Okay, I, you keep it as I. You keep these alone. Okay, so minus 15 plus 27i plus 10i plus 18. Because minus 18 times minus 1 is positive 18. Minus minus cancels, becomes positive. Minus 15 plus 18 is 3. So cancel, cancel. And then 27 plus 10i is 37i. So you get 3 plus 37i. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck.